Hi guys, welcome back. Just wanted to get back on and do another recipe for you guys. Had lots and lots of feedback on the previous videos, so thank you for that. And a lot of suggestions. And a few of the suggestions, actually the majority of the suggestions were a biryani. So as you know, I don't like to disappoint. So I'm going to cook you up today chicken biryani. So the ingredients that we're going to use are as follows. So these are the ingredients that we're going to use today. So what we have a mix of chicken, breast and thigh. Either or is absolutely fine. I had both, so hence why I'm using that. Tomato puree. Now what I've done to that, that's 2 tablespoons there, and I've diluted it with 1 tablespoon of water. The dry spices we're going to be using are Indian bay leaves, slightly bigger in size and a bit more fragrant. We've got cinnamon sticks, 2 of, and about 6 or 7 green cardamom pods. Then we have salt, 1.5 teaspoons, pepper, again about 1.5 teaspoons, curry powder, about 2 tablespoons, and 2 cloves of garlic that I'm going to chop up. I've also got some turmeric powder that I'm going to use to seal off the chicken with, some vegetable oil, chopped onions, and green peas. What we also need, I'll take you over here. Shalima has kindly cooked me up some fresh white rice, and that's what we're going to be using to make our biryani. The wok we're going to be using today, just a normal wok. Whatever you've got, a frying pan is absolutely fine, or a little pot, whatever you want to use is all good. So let's get cooking. Right, so let's get the heat on. Make that nice and hot. And then we're going to add some oil. Now what we're going to do first is just fry off the chicken with a little bit of turmeric, just so that it gives it a lovely yellowy colour and it seals the chicken before we add it to the rest of the spices. Okay, so the oil is now nice and warm. So to that, I'm going to slowly add the chicken. Now be careful because it's obviously wet and it's going to splatter, so stand aside. There we go. Just fry that off. All you're doing is sealing it. To that, we're just going to add a dash of turmeric. There we are. Now what will happen, the chicken will obviously release its moisture, and what you're trying to do is get rid of that moisture so that you get a nice dry biryani. Grab a lid, stick that on top, let that chicken cook. That's been cooking for about 30 seconds now, and so give that a bit of stir. You can see that the moisture is coming out of that chicken. Don't want to overcook it, because otherwise you'll dry the chicken out. There you go. Now if you're not confident with your frying pan skills, you don't have to do that, you just give it a stir. And now let that just completely get rid of all that moisture. So there we have it. The chicken took about 1.5 minutes in total, has evaporated and the moisture is now gone. You've got lovely pieces of chicken that are sealed. And what we're going to do is we're just going to separate that into a dish. Now I have washed this dish. Make sure you wash your dish, don't use the one that you had the raw chicken in. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now to make the actual biryani, what we're going to do, bit of oil, probably about 2 tablespoons. There we are. Let that heat up really nicely. So that's the oil all heated up. So what I'm going to add to that is just the chopped garlic. Give that a bit of a shake out. There we are. And let that cook up nicely. And what you want is a little bit brown, but not too brown. You don't want to burn it. So give that a second. And then to that, what we're going to do is we are going to add the onions. There we are, so they've browned up a little bit. There we go. Right, let's get the onions in. There we are. Fry those off. Right, now let those cook up. What I'm going to do is 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper. There we are. Dash more. There we go. There we are. Now just let those cook up, soften through. It's a very quick thing to do, the biryani. It takes about 10 minutes once you're all prepared. Just to sort of cook up the onions, add the spices, cook those through, add the chicken, and then right at the end we mix it through with the rice. Very, very simple to do, very quick, very easy. Now I've obviously used chicken that was raw, but if you have leftover Sunday roast or anything, any sort of leftover chicken, the chicken's then already cooked, so you can just use that and throw that in and do it. Now you can do that with lamb or roast beef or anything. If you've got a stew left over, what you can do is just take the chicken or the lamb or the beef out of that and just follow this process and just throw that chicken or beef in and you're all ready. Okay, so those onions are now about ready. So to that, I'm going to add the curry powder. So you've got about 2.5 tablespoons there. And also the tomato paste that I've made up. So remember, that is 2 tablespoons of tomato puree just out of a tube, and I've mixed that with a tablespoon of water and then just made it into a paste. You just let that cook through. You've got your biryani paste there. Now to that, I'm going to add the spices. There we are. And just cook that through. Right, so now in goes the chicken. There we are. And the peas, I'm going to use all of the peas. There we are, I'll do. There we are. Just let that cook through for a few minutes, well maybe a minute or so, just so that it all comes together, and then we're going to add the rice, and then your biryani is ready. Now at this point, what you can do is you can add some green chilies if you like, makes it really nice. I'm not going to do that today because some of us don't like it spicy, but if you do like it spicy, then this is the time to add your green chilies. Okay, so that's now ready for the rice. There we are. If you've got leftover rice and it's been stored properly in the fridge, you can use that, or just make up a fresh batch, and that is good. Now, so I always like to have rice at home, just because you can sort of make a quick snack, some egg fried rice or something along those lines, whenever you're hungry. You just mix this through and your biryani is almost ready. Break up the rice clumps. Turn the heat down slightly, you don't want to burn the rice, but just make sure you mix it through really nicely. can see the spices going through the rice, and the rice takes up that beautiful colour, and that's why when you get your biryani from the restaurant, it's all nice and yellow. The turmeric that you're seeing through the rice. And there we are, folks. Indian restaurant style chicken biryani, and that took about 8 or 9 minutes in total to do. The time that it takes to prep is probably a little bit longer, but the actual cooking process is not long at all. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think. If there's any more suggestions, give us a shout, let me know. And if you do go ahead and cook it, send me some pictures. Take care, enjoy, all the best.